Samsung recently released what might be the best Android tablet to launch this year, and that is this, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra. And I must say, the first time it arrived here in the office, I thought they delivered just the keyboard because the box is pretty thin. But to my surprise, it actually houses the tablet itself. What's going on, guys? Earl here, Fugitech, and I've been using this tablet, the Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra, for quite a while now. It is huge and very powerful, but can this tablet replace an iPad or even a laptop for that matter? Let us all find out in this review. Samsung's Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra is pretty thin. It actually is 2 times thinner than my iPhone 14 Pro. It has a unibody design that is made out of an aluminum material, making sure that this tablet doesn't bend that easily. The display is a 14.6-inch AMOLED screen that is protected by a Corning Gorilla Glass. One of the things that we immediately noticed here is the implementation of the front-facing camera. It is housed in a notch and is positioned in landscape orientation. Checking out the Tab S9 Ultra's I/O, in landscape orientation on the left side we have the 2 out of 4 speaker grills with a pinhole for noise cancelling microphone. Up top we have the power button as well as the volume rocker, followed by 2 microphones and the SIM card slot that features a dedicated micro SD XS slot for expandable storage. On the right side we have the other 2 speaker grills and the USB Type-C port. While down at the bottom we have the connector pins for the keyboard that we unfortunately do not have. Overall, the design on the Tab S9 Ultra looks really good. It feels sturdy even if it is razor thin. And for whatever odd reason, this tablet even features an IP68 dust and water resistance rating. Measuring in at 14.6 inches, the display on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra feels really big. It's an AMOLED 2X display that has a resolution of 2960 by 1848 and has a pixel density of 239 ppi. The display also features 120Hz refresh rate as well as HDR10+, making this device a hell of a media consumption tool. One bit that we have about the display might be its peak brightness, as I had a hard time viewing the display while I was right outside my house. Another thing to note is that it is a bit challenging to type on this device with your bare hands. We highly suggest you either get the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra's keyboard folio case or just buy yourself a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, which is a marginally cheaper alternative. We also get S Pen support here. The standard S9 series S Pen itself comes included in the box. Writing or drawing on the display feels very natural as we get a latency rate of 2.8 milliseconds, which is pretty cool. A cool feature that comes with the IP68 dust and water resistance rating is the ability to even write with the S Pen while the tablet is submerged in water. The speakers themselves are great and they are tuned by AKG. Though the speakers on the iPad Pro is still one of the best for me, as its output feels much more bassy compared to the ones that we have on the Tab S9 Ultra. Nevertheless, the quad speaker setup here is great and it's loud and can easily fill up the room at maximum volume. Side note, it kind of feels very unusual that Samsung now implements a notch. It actually started with the Tab S8 Ultra last year and still carries over to the Tab S9 Ultra, after making fun of Apple's notch design in their ads back in the iPhone 10 days. It feels very hypocritical, but yeah, we have that infamous notch right here. In my opinion, for whatever reason you use this tablet in portrait orientation, the notch is going to be an eyesore. But in landscape orientation, after using it for quite a while, I'd get used to it pretty quickly. Moving on, powering this tablet is the current flagship processor from Qualcomm, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset that also features an Adreno 740 GPU. Its configurations go up to a whopping 6 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage, which again is also expandable via a micro SDXC. No more question asked here, the Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra can handle all the tasks we throw at it. From editing photos to gaming, this tablet won't fail you. Samsung claims that the Tab S9 series features an improved vapor cooling chamber. They've re-engineered it to direct heat away from the processor, it dispersed to the rear and display panel of the tablet, which translates to better performance. Without the keyboard cover though, I did find it to get a little warm to the touch when doing tasks for prolonged periods of time. For those of you interested in benchmark scores, here are the results that we got. With these results, the Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra is without a doubt the best Android tablet out there. Emphasis on Android. Now when it comes to the battery, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra has a whopping 11,200 mAh capacity with support for 42-watt fast charging. In our use case, we're getting 1.5 days of screen on time, which includes binge watching several episodes of Game of Thrones and RuPaul's Drag Race, checking out news here and there, browsing the web, as well as editing a few videos for TikTok using LumaFusion. In our opinion, that huge battery is justified because of that huge AMOLED panel it has to power. But in combination with already such a thin chassis, we can get several days of standby time with the Tab S9 Ultra, so I'm not complaining. For charging, we can juice up this tablet from 0 to 50% in just about 45 minutes. And we run it through our standard weekly loop test, as well as PCMarkWorks 3.0 battery test, and here are the results that we got. In terms of optics, we have a total of 4 cameras here. 2 cameras at the back that consist of a 13-megapixel camera sensor with an aperture of 2.0 and an 8-megapixel ultra-wide camera with an aperture of 2.4. While the other 2 sits up front, namely 12-megapixel selfie camera with an aperture of 2.2 and another 12-megapixel ultra-wide sensor. The cameras of both front and the back are good enough for taking notes and annotations and for social media or for messaging news as well. Running on the Tab S9 Ultra is Android 13 skin with One UI 5.1.1, and just like what I've been saying in the past, One UI is one, if not the best Android UI available, arguably aside from the stacked Android OS featured on Google Pixel devices. Here you can truly take advantage of that screen for multi-windowing, drawing, and annotating using S Pen and so much more. But Android tablets do come with their own optimization problems, as most of the apps feels like a blown-up version of what we get on our Android smartphones, which is kind of disappointing. I know it's more of a developer thing, as some of the app devs don't seem to put extra efforts in optimizing their apps for Android tablets like this one, maybe because they don't see so much market for it. Nevertheless, we have DeX support here, which essentially turns One UI into a desktop PC and somehow remedies that optimization issues that I found with some Android apps. But then again, we cannot fully take advantage of DeX experience on this tablet without the keyboard. With all these features and specs, some of you might be already wondering, is this tablet worth it? Well, I gotta be honest, even though I spend a lot of time with the device, I am still having a hard time answering that question, as we do have to consider its price on top of everything. For starters, the Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra that we have right now in the studio comes with an official SRP of 85,890 pesos. This is the base config Tab S9 Ultra, which has the 12 gigs of memory and 256 gigs of internal storage. And it can go as high as 103,490 pesos for the maxed out 16 gigs of RAM plus 1 terabyte version. These price points are pretty high for a tablet, since at the same price point, you can get yourself a laptop with better specs or even a 12.9-inch iPad Pro 128GB variant with an M2 chip, which is the same processor we found in most powerful MacBooks today. But before I digress even further, I guess it really boils down to what you really need and want, especially at this point. If you need a versatile, easy-to-carry type of device with a huge display that can go along with your Samsung ecosystem of devices or Android smartphones, this tablet maybe is for you. But if you are someone who just wants the best Android tablet experience, well, it is also here. Just make sure you get the keyboard cover too. So what do you guys think of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra? Let us know in the comment section below, and if you find this video helpful, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit the bell icon so you won't miss any future uploads, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and visit youtech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been Arel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.